If you're dealing with imposter syndrome and you're feeling a lack of confidence, you're like, I don't know if anyone's going to want to work with me. So maybe you're holding yourself back from actually putting yourself out there and putting your offers out there. Let's talk about it. A lot of times the reason why I see this happening is you care about people. You care about making sure that you do a good job. In order to beat imposter syndrome and to feel more confidence, you need to start building proof that you are good at what you do and that you can do what you're doing. Now, if you are building a business in an area where you have experience, this isn't going to be very difficult for you to do. However, sometimes I see people starting businesses in areas or niches where they don't have a lot of experience, or they're just doing it because, I don't know, they just kind of feel like that's going to be the profitable thing, which nothing wrong with that. But imposter syndrome is going to be a lot more prevalent if you're building a business in a niche that you don't have personal experience in, or where you haven't had personal results in, or have gotten results for other people in, because you're just literally pulling things out of your butt, right? So it makes sense. One thing I always look at is when choosing a niche, make sure it's a profitable niche, but it's also something that you actually have personal experience with, that you can talk about it for ages, like you feel comfortable with it. Now, I will say that in some cases, you might not know what that needs to be, or the things you're actually interested in and you have personal experience in, maybe they're not super profitable as niches. Maybe they're just kind of like, I don't know, they're hobbies, in which case that's fine. All that means is that you need to expand your skill set, learn more about the skills you need to have in order to deliver the correct results for your clients. So that's number one. Knowing that you've done enough, you have the experience, you've gotten people results, that is like the best antidote to imposter syndrome. Anytime I feel that, I look into my folder of all my testimonials, I look at, clients that I've worked with, the results that people have gotten, and I'm reminded, okay, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. And the results actually do the overcoming of this fear for me. Again, I want to speak to the fact that some people who are just starting might not have any results. Maybe you've done it just for yourself and you're like, just because I did it in my own life, I don't know if I can do it for other people. So you might still have imposter syndrome. That was definitely my situation when I was first starting my business 10 years ago. I had experience building audiences in my previous business. I had experience selling services because I had 2 other side hustles before that were profitable, one of which I sold. Even though I had personal experience, I didn't know if I had enough experience with clients to help them do the same thing. Just because I did it doesn't mean other people can do it. But I also needed to just look at it tangibly. If I don't know if other people will get the results that I want them to, what do I need to do? Well, I just need to get those clients and work with them. And initially, I needed to work with clients for a very low price to gather those testimonials, to gather those case studies so that I can see like, okay, I know what I'm doing. Another big part of that is I continue to expand my skill set. I continue to expand my learning. So even to this day, like as an example, a lot of times I will consult on Facebook ads or funnels and stuff like that. I'm pretty confident that I know what I'm doing with ads, but even still, I still expand my knowledge. I still look at trainings about Facebook ads. I still purchase products on Facebook ads. I still listen to other people who are experts in that particular field so I can stay on top of it and know that I'm expanding my knowledge. And that allows me to combat my imposter syndrome. Even if I'm not actively working with clients in that particular area, I know that I'm staying up to date and the things that I'm doing or will need to do are accurate and up to date with what everyone else is doing. So a lot of times when it comes to confidence issues, imposter syndrome, I always like to look at the actual reality. There is a part of like mindset, of course, like, believe in yourself, like you can do this, obviously, like that's important too. But if you don't have the actual proof and backup, it's going to be hard to just do affirmations all day long. At the end of the day, you can tell yourself you can do it, but if you have zero experience with the thing, then how would you know if you can do it? So you need to start creating this folder of proof that you can do it. A lot of times it can be very simple, easy things. If you're a health coach, for example, make a list of all the things you've done related to health that you accomplished, whether it's losing weight, learning about macros, creating recipes that are keto friendly, whatever the thing is. How do you quantify your experience? How do you quantify your expertise in a sense? How can you see that when you, for example, talk to friends about that topic? Do you feel confident talking about the topic, or do you feel like, I don't really know what I'm talking about? Because that tells you directly that you probably need to just expand your knowledge. That's it, which is a very fixable, solvable thing, which is great. Now, if all of that is true, if you have all the experience in the world. You've been doing this for like 20 years and you still feel imposter syndrome and you still feel like you're not very confident in what you do. At that point, mindset, let's work on that. So what exactly is going on? What exactly are you fearful of when it comes to putting yourself out there? Because there's always some kind of a fear associated with the imposter syndrome. It might be, you know, what if I do a bad job? What if I work with a client and they don't get results? That might be a fear. And tap into the actual root of where that fear is coming from. If I work with a client and they don't get the result, okay, so then what? Then they're going to tell everyone that I suck. Okay, and then what? Then I'm going to be out of business. Okay, and then what? Then I'm going to have to go back to my 9-to-5 job. Okay, is that really likely to happen because one client didn't get results? No. So that's digging in a little bit and seeing what the actual root of the fear is. And the other part of that is simply working on expanding your mind. A lot of times we're so used to bringing ourselves down, playing small, we discourage ourselves, we feel defeated, we feel all kinds of ways that are not helpful because that's what we're used to doing. Especially if you haven't been doing your business and you're just about to start, or you've been taking a hiatus and you're like, okay, I'm getting back into it. There's always going to be more energy that needs to be expanded when you're putting things into motion than to keep them in motion, right? Physics. So for that reason, a lot of times your mind is going to want to hold you back from doing the difficult thing of, now I'm changing my career, now I'm putting myself out there. All of that is scary because you're literally putting yourself out there to be scrutinized, like online. You're putting yourself up for potential rejection because people are going to say no to you. So that can be scary. These challenges around imposter syndrome or confidence will come up to hold you back from actually doing it because your brain is trying to protect you from the possibility of, you don't know what's out there, the potential fear of what's going to happen. It's just because you're in your comfort zone, right? So anytime you start building something new, building a new business, putting yourself out there, starting to sell, actively getting out there and no longer playing small, you're getting outside of your comfort zone. And that naturally comes with discomfort. And that can manifest in imposter syndrome, lack of confidence, or other things that come up that we think that's the problem, but really it's that your brain is trying to hold you back from expanding to the next level. That's really what happens. You want to identify what that is for you and then tackle it as needed. Hopefully you get some insight from this, but good luck. And I look forward to hearing how it goes.